The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 9, a mass shooting manifesto. Clues into a possible motive into the deadly Walmart shooting in Chesapeake, Virginia. What the suspected killer said in a message left behind. And man overboard. The U.S. Coast Guard rescues a man after he went missing from a cruise ship. The dramatic video of the save tonight. And Black Friday is nearly at an end. Our Dave Laval gives us a look at the kinds of deals that people were after today in D.C.
And the temperatures are going down, and so is the wind. So how low will the thermometer get overnight tonight going into your Saturday morning? We'll talk about it coming up.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Ben Dennis. Breaking news in the district tonight, a double shooting in Northeast. Calls for shots fired came in around 11 o'clock tonight, and a flurry of police remain on scene at this hour. Live pictures from the scene. We have a photographer there near the Maryland line at 58th Street and Field Place. This is blocks away from H.D. Woodson High School. Metro Police say 2 men were shot, but they are expected to recover, thankfully. Details what led up to the shooting have not been shared by Metro PD. Anyone with information is asked to call police. And new tonight, D.C. police are also investigating a death that happened on Capitol Street Southwest early this morning, calling it a homicide. Shortly before 3 o'clock, police arrived at the scene and found 44-year-old Sharif Akande suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died from his injuries. Police are offering up to $25,000 for any tips that can lead to an arrest. And DC Fire says a pedestrian fights for their life tonight after being pinned between 2 vehicles in Northeast. Authorities say the male pedestrian was temporarily pinned between 2 vehicles on K Street near Gallaudet University. Though DC Fire did not say when the accident happened, the pedestrian was sent to a trauma center with life-threatening injuries. It's unknown if anyone is in custody. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. And new tonight, we've learned the identity of a 16-year-old who was gunned down at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. This is Fernando Chavez Barron. The city of Chesapeake tweeted his name in photo today after a candlelight vigil last night. Chavez Barron was not initially named because he was under 18 years old. The teen was among 6 people killed in a store break room by a store manager who turned the gun on himself. 2 others were shot and are still hospitalized. One of them remains in critical condition. Also new tonight, details about a possible motive behind that Walmart mass shooting. The suspected killer left a manifesto on his cell phone. Julie Millett from our sister station Wavy in Hampton Roads, Virginia reports.
My true intent was never to murder anyone. Believe it or not, I was actually one of the most loving people in the world if you would get to know me. Those are the words of the gunman accused of killing 6 of his coworkers at a Chesapeake Walmart before turning the gun on himself. I was harassed by idiots with low intelligence and a lack of wisdom, he wrote. The chilling words written by the 31-year-old are helping to paint a picture of what led up to the tragic shooting. But for those who survived, the manifesto doesn't provide many answers.
The shooter comes in the break room and just starts shooting. It looked like he had so much rage on his face because he wouldn't stop. He just kept shooting.
We spoke today to a Walmart associate who wants to remain anonymous. He says he survived the shooting by ducking and hiding under a table. While the shooter's manifesto implies he was tormented by his coworkers, this survivor says he never witnessed that. He said the shooter was a team lead who had a reputation for being nitpicky.
Well, I remember on my first day I got there, it was clear that everybody had some type of, like, I'm not going to say everybody had a problem with him, but when I got there, like, he was the manager to look out for.
The manifesto says that the shooter decided to spare one woman, but this survivor says it didn't look like the suspect was aiming or not aiming at any specific coworkers when the shooting happened.
He wasn't really aiming at people, taking a break, then shooting, then aiming at people, taking a break, then shooting. He just kind of just let it go.
In his manifesto, the shooter says, "Sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promise things just fell in place like I was led by the Satan."
He had rage when he walked in, but it was also like I don't know, he just like it looked like he wasn't in there, just from what I saw.
Tough details there. A Virginia community continues to honor the 6 lives lost in Chesapeake. And in the coming days, the city will hold a candlelight vigil to remember them. Later in the newscast, we hear from the families of the victims. They are Brian Pendleton, Kelly Pyle, Lorenzo Gamble, Randy Blevins, Tanika Johnson, and Fernando Chavez Barron, who we showed you earlier. Where people living in Chesapeake honoring their lives is a forefronted focus.
For the victims, they'd want us to go about our daily lives as usual. And I think that is, like I said, that is the best way to pay tribute to them. And as far as I'm concerned, the only way to pay tribute right now.
And the vigil is slated for Monday night, 6 p.m. in the Chesapeake City Park. And developing now, a car turned battering ram. Montgomery County Police in Maryland are investigating a robbery at a Rockville gun shop. It happened early this morning. Police say that a stolen black sedan rammed into the front of Atlantic Guns. Between 5 and 6 suspects then went inside, stole multiple firearms, then ran off. It wasn't the first time, too. Police tell DC News Now that there was a failed attempt last Saturday. The U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are working to help find the suspects. And Montgomery County detectives are investigating a burglary at a home in Olney. Officers responded to Cherry Valley Drive after reports of a burglary came in around 2 p.m. yesterday. Suspect or suspects entered the house and stole property and personal documents. Cameras at the home captured this video, a still here, of this 1980s or 1990s blue Chevy Caprice Classic outside between 11 a.m. and noon. A reward up to $10,000 is being offered for information leading to an arrest. And in Prince George's County Police, they need your help to find a car similar to a 2018 to 2021 BMW X3 used in a fatal hit and run that happened earlier this month in Greenbelt. Authorities say the driver hit and killed a pedestrian on Kenilworth Avenue and Greenbelt Road. Damage would be on the passenger side, including the headlight lens and missing parts of the front passenger side wheel. Contact the Prince George's County Police Department if you have any information. And there are plenty of sore feet and a lot of tired people out there as Black Friday draws to a close. Shoppers pack stores and shopping centers, taking advantage of specials on the first full day of the official holiday shopping season. One of those many busy spots in the DMV was the Tanger Outlets in National Harbor. It closed just a moment ago after a long day for shoppers and employees. Dave LaValle spent a good part of his day there. Dave, 2 questions. First, were there plenty of crowds? And secondly, did you pick up anything yourself?
Not yet, Ben. I'm still trying to figure out who's on the naughty or nice list for me amongst family and friends, and can tell you things are definitely quieting down here after a wild first day of shopping. You had major lines of people not only trying to get into the stores, but in fact, the parking lot. In fact, it took me close to 25 minutes just to get into the entrance. And what's happening out here is that merchants are bracing for what's expected to be a record weekend for shoppers. They shop and they shop. Most people do not walk away from Tanger Outlets National Harbor empty-handed.
Some shoes, some polo shirts.
I got me some Uggs for $100.
Under Armour, Ralph Lauren.
Yves Jean-Baptiste joins other shoppers who take advantage of the bargains on Black Friday.
All the deals. This has been an awesome deal. Every store pretty much had 50 to 60% off, so I had no choice but to get out of my house and get out here today.
The financial firm Deloitte finds shoppers will spend an average of $507 on gifts this holiday season. That's $6 more than last year. People who spoke to us say they'll definitely open their wallets more for family and friends.
I spent more because last year with all the pandemic restrictions, I didn't really want to be in stores versus this year where everything's a little bit more relaxed, actually able to get in and out of the stores.
They're visiting and sometimes I'm gifting them some of the goodies that they're buying, so I'm spending a little more.
I'm going to be very giving, so I think I'm going to spend a little bit more this year.
That's welcome news for outlet management.
Stores are going to continue to run their sales through the weekend, and a lot of people are traveling again for the first time, so I think that families have all kinds of plans.
Even though shoppers say they plan to spend more, the economy has affected what they'll buy.
Definitely made me put some things back.
The National Retail Federation estimates a record 166.3 million people will shop between Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. That's almost 8 million people more from a year ago. Ben?
Dave, great information there. Expand, if you will. What else did shoppers have to say about spending habits because of inflation that's still hurting plenty of families?
Well, the shoppers we talked to and those that did not want to go on camera made it pretty clear that, yeah, they're going to spend about the same amount, maybe just a few dollars more. But what's different this year is that the National Retail Federation, in fact, most economists say that, and even the shoppers we spoke to say that they're probably going to buy fewer gifts. That's because a lot of the presents, they've increased in price because of inflation. So that means people can expect to get presents, but not just as many. Now, you asking the question, let me return the favor to you because I'm going to give you a little early Christmas present. Let's see the gift of knowledge. So, according to the National Retail Federation, what are the top presents for boys and girls this year?
I'm going to guess it's something related to tech. Specific products? I don't know. You're throwing me for a loop here, Dave. Tell me.
We're going to go a little bit old school, according to the National Retail Federation. For boys, believe it or not, it's Lego, while for girls, it's Barbie. Rounding out the top 5 for boys, Hot Wheels, cars, trucks, PlayStation, and video games. As for the rest of the girls' top 5, we're talking dolls, LOL dolls. Beats me, I don't have kids, so I don't know exactly what that is. Lego and makeup. Now you know. Live at Tanger Outlet Malls, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
And north out of PG County, where Dave was just there in the district, a small protest outside an Amazon Fresh grocery store in Northwest, boycotting the billion-dollar company, dubbed the Make Amazon Pay Rally. People protested for higher wages and to cut carbon emissions. The protest was one of several slated across the world today, organized by a collection of trade groups. Among those protesting in D.C., Montgomery County Executive Mark Elridge.
This is fundamentally and underlyingly a wage problem. If wages were better, housing would be more affordable to people.
And the protests across the world were purposefully staged on Black Friday, marking the official holiday shopping season. And across the state of Maryland, November the 25th is observed as American Indian Heritage Day. The holiday has been recognized by the state since 2008. The General Assembly established the celebration to honor the contributions and achievements of Maryland's tribes and indigenous citizens. To observe the holiday, Governor Larry Hogan's office and the Maryland Commission on Indian Affairs will attend an event at the Port Discovery Museum in Baltimore. And while the holiday season can be exciting for millions of Americans, inflation is making people feel a lot less jolly. But NerdWallet offers tips on what you can do to save some money this holiday season. Their #1 tip: start shopping early. This not only gives shoppers a chance to get in on the specials and price matching, depending on which stores offer it. Next, keep a close eye on prices across stores. Make sure you're getting the best deal before you place an order. Third, start clipping those coupons. Keep an eye out on cashback offers. They can make deals even better. Fourth, they say to follow local stores on social media. Never know when they might drop a special deal. Finally, when all else fails, talk with your friends and family about cutting back on spending. Setting limits not only helps you, but can lessen the pressure of others to spend just as much. And meanwhile, the U.S. Postal Service, UPS, and FedEx released important deadlines to make sure your packages get to their destinations on time for the holidays. For regular or retail ground shipping, USPS says send packages by December 17th. If you're using UPS ground shipping, you can use their time and cost calculator on their website to find the exact deadline based on your specific package, where it's getting picked up, and where it's arriving. With FedEx, ground packages should be sent out by December the 8th. All three services also offer express service, next day and priority shipping, which does cost a little bit more, but takes less time. You can find faster shipping options for USPS, UPS, and FedEx on their websites. And happening now in D.C., a hypothermia alert is active as temperatures are expected to drop near freezing. The National Weather Service reports temps will drop to 36 degrees overnight, but may feel like 32 with a wind chill. Officials are urging people to stay inside if possible. Check on those who are most vulnerable, like young children, the elderly, and those experiencing homelessness like pets as well. You can call 311 if you see somebody in need. And as we're talking about weather here, Scott, and those low temperatures, I mean, it could certainly get very chilly tonight and into your Saturday morning.
That's right. It feels quite chilly out there right now because we do have the winds out there, but those winds are going to relax as well as those temperatures continuing to go down. Right now we have a temperature of 51 degrees in D.C. with a northwest breeze at 7 miles an hour across the board. And as far as winds are concerned, well, we've got wind gusts this hour, primarily in the teens, although there are a couple of 20-mile-an-hour plus wind gusts here. 24 at Annapolis, 28 at Baltimore, 27 at Lexington Park, and 22 at Frederick. So it is a bit breezy in places still, although the winds will continue each and every passing hour to go down and down and down. So it will, however, saying that, still be chilly outside. Now, as you see, we've got plenty of clear skies over our neck of the woods, and it's all compliments to this front that's pushed through earlier today. It's pushed the showers, it's pushed the clouds away from us. So now we're looking at just a nice quiet afternoon, quiet evening across the area. Going into tomorrow afternoon will be quiet as well, as high pressure is going to be in full force. However, showers are very likely on Sunday and once again on Wednesday. We'll get more in depth about the rain coming up in my full forecast here in just a few moments. But to plan your evening for the rest of the night here, we're looking at temperatures falling throughout the 50s, if you're in the 50s, and into the 40s with clear to mostly clear skies. And boy, that fire does look good, right? You want to be near that with the type of weather we have tonight. Chilly night ahead, tons of sunshine Saturday, rain returns on Sunday, and temperatures stay steady